All right. Good morning, everybody. Monday morning, July. Hope everybody had a great weekend. You should be back from your 4th of July holiday vacationing. First Monday after that, it's time to go back to work. Second half of 2018. Let's see, who do we have on? Valerie, good morning. Sharita, Trin, Abigail, Lashana, Elizabeth, Wayne, Brad Thede, Laban, Mafus, Camille. What's happening, Camille? It's been a while. Ian Randall, Benita Nunez, Bajosi, Laron, Bethany Gibbs, Shadrach, Wisdom, Miss Kathy Keene, Anthony. Good morning. I always like to start my day off with some crypto education to get me started. Superstar Asmaret from the UK. I saw you in that video, girl. Congratulations. Stand up for what you believe in. Exciting times ahead. Exciting times that we actually live in right now. The question is, are you taking full advantage of it? Are you positioned? Been on vacation all week last week and did not do many crypto. Actually, I didn't do any crypto talks. So I kind of lost my mind on Saturday. We had a lot of stuff happening on Saturday. So if you missed any of that, you can go back to my Facebook page and they're there. We had a very important Zoom call Saturday night. For those of you who are interested in investing in the mining side of the industry of cryptocurrency, you definitely want to listen to that Zoom call. I think that is going to end up changing people's lives. All right, I am not, as a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be dispensing financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestions, and it is up to you to make an informed decision on which direction you want to move into. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space. Number 1, education is everything. Number 2, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Number 3, always get your return on investment back as fast as possible. And number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What vehicle are you using to make it happen? And most importantly, and I want to emphasize this, stay focused. Do not get distracted. I'm looking at my inbox right now, and I've got about 6 messages from 6 different people, all wanting me to look at something else, to get involved with something else that I'm not already currently doing right now. One guy even said, I said, do you not realize that I'm one of the top leaders of the #1 crypto education company in the world? And you're trying to get me to look at this? Come on now. Let's have common sense. Multiple streams of income is great after you've already secured one stream of income. I do believe in diversification, but in stages. You can't get distracted. That doesn't mean that everything out there is bad. Even Warren Buffett doesn't invest in every Fortune 500 company that's successful. You got to pick your battles. Be a master of one before you are average at many. All right, so let's go ahead and, on this Monday morning, cover some Bitcoin news. Some of these may be a couple of days old because I have not been able to do some crypto talks. But this one, since I am in crypto education, we're going to talk about first. 5 universities offer crypto courses in Spain Argentina, and Venezuela. Like I said, rule number one, education is everything. Education will save you from or minimize your risk. Okay. There's no such thing as risk-free in crypto. You're going to get involved in some things that might look good and turn out to be not so good. But if you're educated, you might be able to avoid it. And if you're not able to avoid it, you're able to minimize your risk in that thing. Here's an example. 92% of all ICOs will not last 1 year. 92%. That doesn't mean every single ICO is a scam. It's hard to try to, unless you really know what you're looking for. But here's another thing. 90% of the people involved with the ICOs make money. So if you know what you're doing, you're still able to make money in a bad deal. All right, do you understand that concept? You can still make money in a bad deal. Some things that you don't have control over. That's why if you follow my 4 rules in the crypto space, even if you end up being in a bad deal, you still kind of come out on top. Because I'm going to be talking about BitConnect in a second. One thing about BitConnect, if you were involved at least 60 days and you followed the rules that I say, that I put forward, you didn't lose any money. Because it took about 60 days to make your money back. Everything after that is house money. Unfortunately, a lot of people didn't do that. They listened to what I said and did the opposite. It can get tempting. Greed can take over. But we'll talk about that in a moment. Let's talk about education. 5 universities offer crypto courses in Spain, Argentina, and Venezuela. So 5 universities across 3 Spanish-speaking countries are now offering crypto courses. Oh, by the way, if you go to the Cryptogenics website, you now notice that you can change languages to Spanish and many other languages for that matter. We've got Portuguese and Spanish now. So among major topics of studies are Bitcoin, Ethereum, cryptocurrencies, blockchains, initial coin offerings, smart contracts, DAOs, and crypto economics. Another industry that cryptocurrency is going to disrupt is the education industry. Because since it's going to disrupt every industry on the planet, think about all the courses and majors and minors that you can take in college. Blockchain is going to impact every one of those industries, which means you're going to need to have an understanding of what blockchain is and how it works in every industry. This is pervasive. So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 topics here. And that's just scratching the surface. None of it talks about the algorithms, the distributed ledger technology. This is very specific. You notice many different people in the crypto space might find their own little niche. I have my little niche. Most of the articles that I cover are things that interest me, like geopolitics, education, what's going on with regulation in the crypto space. So I cover regulation, geopolitics, the rising of cryptocurrencies, social economics, sex in the industry. Yeah, I cover sex as well. The ones I kind of stay away from. Hold on, somebody's trying to call me right now. The ones I stay away from is the nerd talk. I'm not interested in the algorithm. I'm not interested in the mathematics behind it, the science behind it. How the blockchain, it's like you can read a book on how an airplane flies and then the mechanics on how it's built and put together. That part doesn't interest me too much, so I stay away from that. Like I don't cover too many about ICOs and different projects in the blockchain, unless they're big industries. So I have my own little niche as well, and you might find your niche to talk about and to focus on. But education is one that cannot be ignored. So, University de Alcalá is a public university located in Alcalá de Henares, Madrid. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the largest standing European universities, dating back to the year 1293. All right, so one of the oldest universities in the world is now adding crypto education to their course. The school now offers a course entitled Master in Ethereum, Blockchain Technology, and Crypto Economics. The course is intended for professionals, students, or those interested in learning about blockchain-based technologies from an integrated perspective of technical, economic, social, and legal aspects. The school's website details, and the objective of the study is to provide comprehensive training in the field of blockchain technology, DAOs, and smart contracts, including cryptocurrencies, as a special and transversal case from a triple perspective: technological, economic, financial, and regulatory. The University of Madrid, Spain, is a public university located in the north side of Spain's capital city. Established in 1968, the school is currently offering a short course from July 18th to 20th, so a 2-day course, entitled Blockchain, From Cryptocurrencies to Business Networks. A 2-day course, huh? In this course, the technical foundations of the Bitcoin blockchain will be introduced with an eminently practical approach, showing its limitations and placing special emphasis on the problems it poses regarding the intelligent management of records and their authorship, according to the course description. As solutions to these problems, the concept of smart contract and its implementation and use will be introduced in Ethereum and Hyperledger. Finally, in the context of a roundtable, possible models and business networks based on blockchain will be discussed. Another university in Spain, Europea Madrid, is a private university with more than 16,000 students. The school offers a 6-month postgraduate diploma in Bitcoin. This is a first. I have never heard of a university that's actually giving you a diploma in Bitcoin technology now. So this is my first time hearing about this. So a 6-month postgraduate diploma in Bitcoin and blockchain, which starts in October. 6 modules are included in the course: blockchain technology, basics of Bitcoin, security and investigation of the blockchain, legal aspects linked to cryptocurrency, innovation with the blockchain, and project development. When you finish the course, you will be able to analyze in a critical way the technical and legal viability of solutions based on blockchain technologies and to develop integral projects related to cryptocurrencies, the school describes. You will be a professional in the technology sector capable of identifying innovative opportunities beyond the conventional use of technology, adding value to any company in the ICT or financial sector. That is valuable right there. That is a huge statement right there. What about Buenos Aires, Argentina? The Instituto Tecnológico de Buenos Aires is a private university focusing on information technology, business, and engineering studies. The institute offers a diploma course entitled Crypto Economics, Blockchain Intelligent Contracts, and Cryptocurrencies, which runs from July 11th through September 26th. It is designed especially for people who start from scratch or with the very basic knowledge and who want to learn the reasons, mechanics, and disruptive opportunities at a monetary, technological level and as a form of investment that is in the present and future in the world of crypto economies. The program is aimed at anyone who wants to start and acquire the basic and intermediate knowledge to understand the world of cryptocurrencies, tokens, ICOs, smart contracts, and the different types of blockchains. All right, and this keeps going on and on. I don't see that happening in the United States. Actually, there is a couple of universities that are offering some courses in this. But that's why Cryptogenics is here. You know, we want to lead the way For those of you that don't have the time to go back to college. And you know how they always say education is the key? American universities are currently preparing our students and our kids for a world that will no longer exist by the time they graduate, or for a world that hasn't been invented yet. They're not ready. This is not a matter of thriving. This is a matter of survival. If you want to survive and then thrive the rest of this century, you need to have a basic understanding of crypto education, crypto knowledge, blockchain technology. It is mandatory. All right, good article there. Let's move on. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I wanted to hit on Facebook. Isn't it ironic how just a couple of months ago Facebook blocks all crypto and blockchain advertisements, and then turns around and creates a blockchain division. And Bethany, or Valerie, you're right. Drudge University is offering a 6-week course for $1,600. People, why are you charging $300 for crypto education? We could just go to YouTube and get it for free. Yeah, well, why is a university offering a 6-week course for $1,600? I just look sideways at people that ask me that stupid question. And it is a stupid question. Why should I pay money for education? Go sit in a corner somewhere. All right. Facebook. Social media giant Facebook has recently promoted senior engineer Evan Chang to director of engineering for its recently launched blockchain division. Earlier in May, Facebook put together a team led by David Marcus, Coinbase board member and former president at PayPal, to explore blockchain technology and its potential use cases for the platform. The team consisted of, you know what, I got it because it's still running through my head as I read this. I got to get this thought out. Blockchain knowledge and the, how can I put this in words? The importance of this. When you get sick or you get hurt and you go to the hospital, the doctors and nurses that are working on you have an intimate knowledge of the human body. Where did they get that knowledge from? Did they go to YouTube and Google and look it up? I mean, because all the knowledge is on Google and YouTube. Everything that a doctor knows, all of that information is easily found on the internet. People learn how to build bombs from home just by reading or watching stuff from the internet. But if that's the case, then why do individuals still spend 4 years at an undergrad, another 4 years after post-grad, plus years not just in medical school, but actually in the hospital, like an intern, residency. So by the time they're 28 and 30, they finally get their doctorate degree, unless you're Doogie Howser. Why do they do that and go in debt hundreds of thousands of dollars to learn that information when they can just go and get it from YouTube and Google? I'm here to tell you that blockchain technology and the education that it takes to be an expert in this field is going to be on the same level as it is if you're going to study to become a doctor and a lawyer. The jobs and opportunities that are going to be available, they haven't been invented yet, in the next 5 years is going to require you to have a degree in this field. And it ain't going to happen. When you go on you tell, I'm an expert in blockchain. Well, where'd you get your study from? Oh, YouTube and Google. You're going to get laughed out of the building. What real experience do you have? All right, so I got that out of my head so I can continue. I wanted to make that point. Okay. Earlier in May, Facebook put together a team led by David Marcus, Coinbase board member and former president at PayPal, to explore blockchain technology and its potential use case for the platform. The team consisted of less than a few dozen people and included senior executives from Instagram. The team was said to directly report to Mike Schroepfer, CTO of Facebook. In an executive reshuffle, Facebook appointed Evan Chang as the Director of Engineering and Kevin Weil, formerly VP of Product at Instagram, as the VP of Product at their blockchain division. According to his LinkedIn page, Chang has been employed at Facebook since November 2015 and has been working at their programming languages and runtimes division. He also worked at Apple for over 10 years and is credited as one of the inventors of LLVM, a compiler that generates the low-level machine code for Apple devices. Chang is also listed as an advisor to blockchain projects Ziliqua and Chainlink. In a Facebook post earlier this year, Mark Zuckerberg stated that he would take up a personal challenge to study cryptocurrencies this year. He remarked that centralization and centralized systems are a key problem today, and that he would examine this technology to accelerate decentralization and put more power in people's hands. He said, this is one of the richest men in the world, there are important counter trends to this, like encryption and cryptocurrency, that take power from centralized systems and put it back into people's hands. But they come with the risk of being harder to control. I'm interested to go deeper and study the positives and negative aspects of these technologies and how best to use them in our services. So you've got some of the wealthiest people in the world that have brought some of the best technology that we use today over the last 15, 20 years are all focusing on this. The Winklevoss twins, Sir Richard Branson, the CEOs of PayPal and Google, Facebook, Amazon, they are all jumping on this blockchain technology. It is going to revolutionize the world. As CCN reported, Facebook recently reversed its ban on cryptocurrency ads on their platform. The ban was initially placed to protect its users from fraud and theft. I call BS on that. Facebook admitted that the ban was intentionally broad and they would revisit the policy while they work to better detect deceptive and misleading advertising practices. False. Let me reread that and what they really meant. Facebook admitted that the ban was intentionally broad and they would revisit the policy while they worked to create their own blockchain technology and their own crypto coin so that they can eliminate the competition and have a monopoly on it. That's what they really did. Don't believe this crap. Once the ban was lifted, Facebook announced that they would allow pre-approved applicants to advertise on their platform. What is that? So now you got to get permission from a company that's creating their own blockchain division, their own crypto coin. How fair is that? You think they're going to let the Winklevoss twins and their Gemini projects advertise on Facebook? Heck no, they're competition. Although Facebook hasn't announced any plans about how they would use blockchain technology on their platform, it is clear that they are pursuing this technology with interest. In the light of the data crisis faced by Facebook, it is going to be interesting to see how they utilize this technology to improve their services, and they will. All right, let's talk about BitConnect. This is plain silly. This class action lawsuit is silly. And it's only getting worse. You think, just let something die already. All right, so this one. YouTube, what? Dragged into BitConnect class action lawsuit. Why? For failure to protect victims. Really? Really? I mean, at what point does personal responsibility come into play? See, this is probably one of the main problems and issues I have with cryptocurrency. The stock market doesn't have this problem. Why? Well, in the stock market, it takes at least $250,000 to $1 million to even be considered serious in that game. Most people and their interaction with the stock market is based on their 401k on their job, and they don't even choose the stock. It's their 401k, which still ain't going to be worth nothing. There's a barrier of entry to that. The greatest thing and the worst thing about cryptocurrency is that there is no barrier of entry. It's the wild, wild west. No real regulation. Which means people who have no business being here and taking this risk are able to get involved. And when you have people who refuse to get basic education and they jump on something because they think they're getting guaranteed on something and they lose, the problem is not that they took the risk. The problem is they feel they just got scammed and they want to blame somebody and get it taken back. Am I saying that we should justify scammers out there? Absolutely not. What I'm saying is there's things you can do that limit your risk. And one thing I can guarantee is that if you're in the crypto space, I can guarantee you will lose money somewhere. You will lose money. I don't know when. I don't know where. I don't know how much. I can tell you that you will. There is no winning 100%. If you're educated, you will win more than you lose. So even if you lose, you still make a profit. So as full disclosure, I was involved in BitConnect. I was very successful with it. I also lost a lot of money with it. But I made far more money than I lost because I followed a certain set of rules that I had been saying from day one. And it's all recorded. Where do you think my 4 rules came from? Education, number 1. Number 2, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. So if you lost it, you didn't lose your house. You didn't lose your car. You didn't lose your life savings. Number 3, get your return on investment back. If you were involved at least 60 days, you made your money back. And then number 4, have a game plan. I said it from the beginning, there's no way this is going to be here forever. It has a shelf life. The question is, when is that shelf life going to be up? Will it last 2 years, 3 years, 6 months? Who knew? Who knows? Be ready and prepared for it. But you had people that didn't do that, what I did. And they, bet the bank. They bet their houses. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. I shook my head at them like, what are you doing? But they were making so much money that the greed took over. And then the day the doors closed, it's Armageddon for some people. The day it closed for me, I lost $40,000 in investment and $2,000 a day in future earnings. That ain't something to sleep over. But did I lose a night's sleep? Maybe half a night. Because my mind was already thinking moving on. You win some, you lose some. So there are things that you cannot control. You can't delve in. You can't let that dominate you. You can't control it. Focus on the things you can control. But there's a group of people that, class action lawsuit here. And that's actually made things worse. So now, since they have been failing in their class action lawsuit for the past 7 months, here's something new they're throwing in the mix. YouTube. What? Now you need YouTube to protect you? Do we need to have a nanny over you on your keyboard as you do stuff? No. Don't do that. That's dangerous. So let me read this. I haven't read this article yet. YouTube has been dragged into a class action lawsuit against BitConnect for failure to protect its users from being exposed to the scams videos. What? Get out of here with that. You might as well sue ABC News, TV, cable for the late night infomercials promising that you're going to lose 100 pounds in a week. What? Your YouTube failed to protect you? Why don't you go ahead and sue the internet provider too? Because you logged on. They failed to protect you while you were logging on. You know, your eyes might see something that you shouldn't see. This case might be used by Google and others to justify their bans on crypto ads, arguing that their algorithms cannot distinguish between legitimate projects and frauds. Now, that's an excuse, but that's not going to happen, because that's not why Google and others banned crypto ads. It wasn't because of fraud. YouTube has been added as a defendant in a class action lawsuit against BitConnect recently, evident by publicly available documents filed within the Southern District Court of Florida. Oh yeah, I remember these clowns down in Florida. According to the lawsuit, the Google-owned video platform failed to protect or warn its users from BitConnect affiliates' promotional material, which reached over 70,000 hours and 58 million views on YouTube. Several of the affiliate promoter defendants had partnerships with YouTube, pursuant to which the BitConnect defendants disseminated fraudulent and harmful content unsuspecting victims across the globe. False. That is false. There's something also that's called intent. Intent. The BitConnect promoters, I'm thinking like a lawyer here, all right? What's the difference between the BitConnect promoter that has a YouTube account and made a YouTube video and another BitConnect promoter who also has a YouTube account and watched the video and joined BitConnect? You both have access to the same doggone thing. The BitConnect promoters are not owners of BitConnect. They just have the skills to make a video and post it. You made the adult decision to listen to what they have to say. YouTube was negligent in failing to warn those victims of harm. How can they be negligent if there was nothing illegal at the time about BitConnect? You might as well go ahead and sue CoinMarketCap. For 3 months, their number one banner at the top was BitConnect when it reached number 6 on the global market cap. Number 6, Coin. It had beat out Dash. So go ahead and sue CoinMarketCap, sue everybody on the internet with this type of thinking here. Says YouTube was negligent in failing to warn those victims of the harmful content for which YouTube compensated their creators and publishers, the document alleges. Another segment reads, in short, aided by YouTube's negligent failure to warn, the BitConnect defendants defrauded tens of thousands of investors by capitalizing on the general public's excitement for virtual currencies and by luring unsuspecting investors into purchasing unregistered securities and participating in pyramid Ponzi schemes. False. This ain't going to go nowhere in court. First and foremost, BitConnect has never been charged. as doing a pyramid or Ponzi scheme. They had a cease and desist order put on them. And a cease and desist order means you are now put on record that you need to come to court and share with us your business model and why what you're doing is legal. And if we think it is not, then you need to register with us. BitConnect failed to do so and instead decided to close shop. They weren't shut down. No government shut them down. This is false. But the lawyers are stretching here. They're looking for something. And in a class action lawsuit, do you know who the only ones who win is? The lawyers. The lawyers are the only ones who win. They're the only ones that get paid. This says, officially, in short, aided by YouTube's negligent failure to warn the BitConnect defendants, defrauded tens of thousands of investors by capitalizing on the general public's excitement for virtual currencies and by luring unsuspecting visitors into purchasing unregistered securities and participating in pyramid Ponzi schemes. Again, there has been nothing that says BitConnect was a pyramid or a Ponzi, and by definition it was not. What they were doing was operating illegally based on SEC rules for sale of a security, and that could even be disputed because that's why they were using the BitConnect coin and not Bitcoin itself. And people were buying it from each other, not from the company. They had an ingenious model going there that just wasn't legal with the current rules. It was an ingenious model, I have to admit. So what they're saying here and what they're aiding at is not actually true, which is why this is going nowhere. So, as we reported earlier this year, the original complaint has been filed by Charles Wildis, Francisco Doria, Eric Herod, Akiva Katz, James Gurry, and Ronald Nelson. They're represented by the law firm of Silver Miller. So Silver Miller is trying to get some money. So, all right, they can't get it from BitConnect. They can't get it from BitConnect promoters. Now they're going to go after YouTube. It says, made on behalf of all BitConnect customers. Well, think about that right there. If you're making it on behalf of all BitConnect customers, then the promoters on YouTube are also BitConnect customers because they lost everything too. It's not like they made out and you didn't. They lost the most, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000, over $1 million. So, the plaintiffs stated that BitConnect's former $2.5 billion market cap was built through the use of fraudulent means. No, it wasn't. In particular, a wide-reaching Ponzi scheme that defrauded investors. No, it wasn't. Made a mockery of state and federal security laws. Not a mockery. They just weren't operating with current security laws. And employed they didn't employ an army of social media mercenaries who were paid to bring more unsuspecting victims into the fraud. No, they were not. Those promoters were not paid extra money by BitConnect. They earned money from their own efforts. Like I said, I'm thinking like a lawyer here. And, oh, by the way, I am in no way defending BitConnect. Okay, I want to make this point clear. I am only stating the facts. What BitConnect did was a chicken shit move and an exit scam. Because they saw, right when things started to go down, and they got 2 cease and desist orders, the market also was on a complete downward trend from 19,000 all the way down to 14,000, 13,000, 12,000. And for a business like BitConnect that was using the bot to be successful means that they're able to bring out some good returns, their daily returns. And the way the market was moving, Their daily returns at Lucky was going to be what, 0.01%, 0.3%, 0.4%. Long were the days of 1.5%. That's only because of the way the market was moving. And these same people that had class action lawsuits, if you go back, you will see they're the ones that were screaming about when there were 0% days. I didn't make any money today. What happened? Well, the market dipped. Those are the same people that complain on days that didn't make any money are having a class action lawsuit. All right, let me finish. Several of the after the matter was exposed, a number of prominent people on the platform have called out YouTubers for promoting BitConnect, including PewDiePie. PewDiePie. Isn't it that he's that annoying YouTube video game guy? Now the accusations go deeper than that, blaming the platform itself. You know what? Why don't we just go ahead and sue the internet? Sue the internet. Internet's got money, right? Who owns the internet? I don't know, but they got money. Let's sue them. Which might have chilling consequences for sharing crypto content on social networks if accepted by the court. It's not going to be accepted by the court. Several of the affiliate promoter defendants had partnerships with YouTube, pursuant to which the BitConnect defendants disseminated fraudulent and harmful content to unsuspecting victims across the globe. YouTube was negligent in failing to warn those victims of the harmful content, for which YouTube compensated their creators and publishers. That ain't going anywhere. Not going to happen. All right, but I will keep a close eye on this because I want to see how they turn out. Who are they going to sue next? It's all the lawyers are looking. They're looking to sue whoever's got money that can pay them. They can't really go after the promoters themselves because the promoters lost all their money. So there's no money to be made from them. They can't go after BitConnect. BitConnect's not even in the United States. They can't even figure out who the owners are. They don't have jurisdiction. So who do we go after next? Oh, okay, let's go after YouTube. Yeah, YouTube's got money. They shouldn't have been let their videos up. Yeah, okay. You're wasting time and money here. They could have probably made so much more money putting their focus and effort on something else than trying to go after freaking BitConnect. Move on. All right, and yeah, I want to do this last article here because this caught my eye when I was on vacation. I didn't get a chance to read it. Hyper Bitcoinization, $100 million per coin by 2030. Are you serious? Oh, and then a new article just popped up on my screen. Bitcoin could go mainstream within 10 years, Imperial College Research. I'll save that one for tonight. But talk to me about Bitcoin reaching $100 million per coin. Is that far-fetched? Is that real? Is it possible? Let's see. The ultimate success of Bitcoin, hyper-Bitcoinization, contains the possibility of a purposeful and bright future. Inevitable, I like that word there, because didn't I just say a new article came out said Bitcoin could go mainstream within 10 years? This says inevitable mass adoption will lead to a globally dominant currency. Pushing all other competitors out means ultimately mooning prices. At least one theorist believes the above will happen and further postulates $100 million per Bitcoin could be in the works as early as 2030. All right. The way I always view things when people throw out numbers is I look at it as, what if they're 90% wrong and they only get it 10% right? In this case, what if they are 99% wrong? By 2030, he's 99% wrong on this postulation. And Bitcoin is only worth $1 million per coin by 2030. I'm okay with that. All right? That's how I always look at and view things. I'm okay with that. So let's talk about the 100 million though, because it's getting me excited. Daniel Krawitz doesn't immediately grab first-time observers as a leading cryptocurrency philosopher. Moose-colored little Dutch boy hair, which he'll at times flip in an unintended punctuation during talks, and his generally casual demeanor could cause audience members to wonder aloud why a random stranger has taken the dice. Mr. Krawitz doesn't ever cite his academic credentials. He is absolutely devoid of appeals to authority, credentialism, and officialdom. He can often be heard challenging listeners to not believe him. Crypto fame of a kind came his way around spring of 2014. As co-founder of the Satoshi Nakamoto Institute, his articles took on new meaning during Bitcoin's run-up and up through 2017. Hyper-Bitcoinization is his most enduring effort from that time, and he can be credited with the concept of neologism. Bitcoin-induced currency demonetization, that's some words I haven't used before, or hyper-Bitcoinization. I have never heard of these words here. So I'm learning something new with this. Is what could occur should any hapless currency stand in Bitcoin's path of total world domination. If this happens, the currency will rapidly lose value as Bitcoin supplants it, he stressed. Years later, the topic has returned in some circles. I actually disagree. I don't think there's going to be just one crypto coin that's going to take over all, gobble all the others up. And I don't believe that it's going to be Bitcoin that is going to be the world's global currency. I think Bitcoin is going to always act as the world's store of value, like gold. It's going to be cryptocurrency's digital gold. And that another coin, I don't know what coin it is, will be the world's coin that's used for day-to-day purchases and things like that. But people will use Bitcoin like real estate, like gold. I could be wrong. That's just my own personal opinion. He thinks that there's only going to be one coin, and it's like King of the Hill. Only one coin is going to survive, like one ring to rule them all. So, the piece is a less braggadocio and more nuanced than proponents are prone to mention, but it does speak to a time in Bitcoin core history when community optimism reigned. The current store of value talk and digital gold hold maximalism is somewhat revisionist, which more honest BTC enthusiasts concede. The discussion then was mostly about merchant adoption, medium of exchange qualities, and prospects of freeing emerging economies from legacy remittance arrangements. These attributes are no longer highlighted by BTCers. Recently, hyper-Bitcoinization, winner takes all, or how Bitcoin gets to 100 million, was posted by Coin Monks, pseudo-anonymous author. Really? His author he calls himself Obi-Wan Kenobi. See, I mean, it's things like this why people can't take crypto seriously. I bet he runs around with a t-shirt with freaking, anime and My Little Pony and stuff on it. Obi-Wan Kenobi. All right, let me get past that. Anyways, in a longer mathy graphic-filled essay, he builds the case for a hyper Bitcoinization. Even the most optimistic BTC true believers might have trouble getting behind. Everett Roger, Laszlo Hanieks, Friedrich Hayek, Austrian economics S-curves, Andreas Antonopoulos, Daniel Krawitz, Satoshi Nakamoto combined to build the basic argument. As Bitcoin is accepted more around the world and acceptance isn't well defined, the cost of rejecting Bitcoin will exceed the cost of adopting it. That part I do agree with. Those of you that do not take advantage of this, like I said, at least own one Bitcoin. The cost of not getting it, of rejecting it, will be far more than the cost of you getting it. Bitcoin will begin to assume money's traditional roles and gain institutional and government support. False. Cryptocurrencies will begin to assume money's traditional roles and gain institutional support, not government support. The government is going to, this is why you need to also understand geopolitics. You can't rule out what the government's going to do here. The government's not going to allow just complete decentralization. They got to control something. So how do they do that? They're going to co-opt blockchain technology and come out with their own federal crypto coins, government national coins, backed by the government. But I believe that there doesn't need to be one or the other. I believe that it's going to be working in tandem with the decentralized crypto market. They're going to go hand in hand. So Obi-Wan Kenobi, I mean, I don't want to call him that. I mean, this is a blasphemy to Star Wars. I guess I have to. Obi-Wan Kenobi explains, describing the tipping point, saying that it will become all money and form the backbone of a new global economy. With the price hovering in the mid-6,000s at press time, the path to the eye-popping estimate seems impossible. However, he believes the current price is 0.01% of this future value. Bitcoin is currently experiencing micro bubbles, and future appreciation will continue nearly unabated until it plateaus at a stable price. Furthermore, BTC affords us the opportunity to radically change our relationship with money. You will own your money. Central bank machinations will come to an end. 20 years ago, we could not imagine how the internet would change our lives. In the next 20 years, Bitcoin will reframe our roles as citizens in a borderless global economy. He doesn't post economic catastrophe to get there, which is refreshing. See, I believe the only way it is going to get there like that is an economic catastrophe. I believe it's going to happen. He's saying it doesn't need to happen to get there. And that might be true. It might take longer. Because you need to have, there's a reason why nations do false flags all the time. I don't want to get into conspiracy theorists here. But you need to know how to control the masses. Herd them like sheep to believe in something and move in one direction or another. And a lot of times, shock and awe, something tragic, something groundbreaking needs to happen to change the masses to move in a certain direction. Let me get off of that one. I don't want Facebook shutting me down. All right, Bitcoin can become the world's first universal currency in part through voluntary social drivers and its inherent sound monetary policy, he claims. Fanciful novel ideas abound throughout his essay, and his crystallization process analogy is particularly innovative and fun. He hints at the contentious debate between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash by assuming BTC will act in ways similar to Bitcoin Cash. Like in any good form of money, Bitcoin is divisible, in fact by up to 100 million Satoshis. The Satoshi will act as our base accounting unit. You will buy goods and services and be paid in Satoshis. The Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer also said, and I quote, "Perhaps one day employees will be getting paid their salaries in Bitcoin." Unquote. Yeah, the Supreme Court Justice said that a couple weeks ago. In the future, with something like 20% of Bitcoin missing or lost, this places the total accessible at 16.8 million coins. I bring it below that. I think it's going to be below 10 million, maybe 8 to 9 million coins ever in circulation. The rest either lost or held up in like accounts like Satoshis. So 16.8 million coins when BTC inflation ends. The list of global value of all money totals about 1.8 Q, he estimates. On his way, what does Q stand for? Global? I mean, how many trillions is that? They're telling me here. On his way to making his Bitcoin Cash-like parallel, he does some calculations. Global value of all money equals 1.8 Q. Divide by 16.8 million Bitcoins. That is 107. What? 107,142,857. Round result equals 100 million Bitcoin. 100 million Satoshis per Bitcoin divided by 100 million Satoshis equals $1 per Satoshi, allowing for microtransactions. That sounds very familiar, and Bitcoin cashers don't have to wait. A light bulb just went off in my head. I understand what they are doing here and why the conspiracy on this. I read, this was a while ago, that Bitcoin actually was created by either a government agency, the CIA, or chief government in Britain, some shadow government, and that it's built in a way to mirror the entire world's global economy as far as all the money in the world. So if you're going to have one world currency, it still has to equal all the money that's currently in circulation. And mathematically, he's correct. See, people think that, I can't afford a Bitcoin. It's worth $6,800. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. $5 gets you in the game. You're earning a piece of a Bitcoin that's called a Satoshi. So the unit of measurement goes down to 100 million. So the math adds up almost identical to the total amount of global currency in the world. Wow. I still don't believe that that's going to happen like that. But mathematically, it's on point. I see what he's saying. The reason why I don't believe it's going to happen that way is because you still need to take into account something that you cannot measure by math. That's people. Emotions. People are irrational. Governments are irrational. Well, they can be predictable. You can predict that they're not going to allow the world to be just one decentralized region. And they will fight to it to the end. So it's like chaos theory. Yeah, I've been watching Jurassic Park over and over and over again because of the last movie that came out. When Ian says chaos theory, there's just certain things you just can't control. Once it's out, it's out. All right. There's a video on this too. Bitcoin stuff, hoarding and hyper. It's a 25-minute video. All right, I'm going to watch this by myself later. 25-minute video on this. I'm going to post this link again in the chat box for those who came on late. Okay, so I do not believe that Bitcoin is going to reach $100 million per coin. Could I be wrong? Yes. According to the math, then yes, it is possible. But I don't personally believe it. I will believe that it can get between $500,000 and $1 million per coin. And here's why. There's 36 million millionaires and billionaires in the world today. Every single one of them cannot own one full Bitcoin as of right now. If even at think about it. At $6,800, if every single millionaire in the world says, I want to own one full Bitcoin, there's not enough to go around. They can't. Which means it's like an auction. If you want to own one full Bitcoin, you're going to have to pay for it. Who's willing to pay the most money? Which means the value of Bitcoin skyrockets. Classic supply and demand. Right now, all the millionaires and billionaires in the world are not trying to own one full Bitcoin yet. Yet. It is a status symbol in the future. It's like, why is it that every time somebody wins the lottery or someone becomes a multimillionaire and billionaire, there's certain things that they have to own? A big house, maybe a Bentley in the garage or a Lambo, especially if you're in crypto. It's like you ain't made it in crypto unless you own a Lambo bought with Bitcoin. It's used as a status symbol. But they got to own a private plane or a private helicopter or a private yacht, even if they never go on the freaking ocean, just so that at a dinner party or a social event, yeah, I got a yacht. In the future, yeah, I own a Bitcoin. It's a status symbol. So whether these wealthy even understand it or not, They will want to own a Bitcoin so that they can still be part of the crowd. The cool kids. They're on the golf course with their rich buddies. They ain't going to be the only one on the golf course that don't own a Bitcoin. You got to know how rich people think. Why they purchase art. Also for a store of value, but it's nobody cares about that stupid painting on your wall that was done 300 years ago. What value? See, I'm not an artist like that. I try to appreciate art, but I'm not going to stand there and stare at an art in a museum all doggone day like it's going to be meaningful to me. Put a video controller on my hand and I'll be happy. But it's a status symbol. So those of you right now at the beginning, whether Bitcoin becomes worth 50,000 a coin, a million a coin, or 100 million, you want to own at least one full Bitcoin and not touch it. Not touch it. I am in hyper mode right now, in overdrive, because I am not making the type of money I need to make to do the things I know that needs to be done, and it is driving me crazy. If you have certain resources, there's things you can do that makes things a whole lot easier on the investment side. And I don't understand why there's people out there that they're just looking at this, oh, well, I guess I'll get to it eventually. There is no eventually. It is the here and the now. Every waking moment, I'm thinking how to increase while we can. All right, that's enough. Speaking on that, it's time for me to go do some productive work. Let's increase our lot, get this Monday kicked off and going. I will be back later on tonight for Late Night Crypto Talk. There's a couple of things I'm going to cover, like Bitcoin could go mainstream within 10 years. Let's see. What is this one? Bitcoin graffiti, how the economic revolution has painted the streets. This one, stop looking for the next Bitcoin. It was by Kai Sedgwick. I don't like that guy. I don't know if I'm going to read that one. So we'll have some more articles to cover by tonight. So with that, you guys have a great day. Time to go to work. Bitcoin Brandon out. God bless. Bye-bye.
Crypto Gen X.